Hey folks, Brando here. I'm at the beautiful Frosty 1950s diner here in beautiful Woodsboro, Texas this morning. And I asked Daniel, I had all kinds of cool autographed pictures. I asked him if I could hang them up. They've been in storage for like 7 years and I want to look at them. And he said yes, so I'm really happy. First thing, I just bought this. My friend Maria York over at Bargain Box here, and it's a little thrift type store, consignment store. She does these beautiful diamond bead paintings. And so I asked her for Elvis, and she made this for me. It took her about a week. I love it. We just got it. And so next up, she's doing a James Dean, and then she's going to do a Marilyn Monroe for me after that, and then a Marlon Brando, and we'll go from there. And each time we're going to hang them up. We love it. All right, then over here we got our little... This place is mostly decorated. It's great, but I just wanted to add a little bit more decor. So here's our kind of sci-fi section. So I've got my autograph TV's Frank and Trace Beaulieu, Dr. Forrester, when I met them. It's by two horror hosts from Mystery Science Theater, so I stuck that up. And when I was a little kid, in 2nd or 3rd grade, we had to write to a celebrity. So I wrote to Steven Spielberg because I loved E.T. and I said, I love E.T. and Jaws and I want to be a director someday, just like you. And he sent me an autograph, Steven Spielberg's autograph from 1983. Had it for 40 years. I mean, I'm sure his secretary signed it, but that doesn't matter. You know, maybe he signed it. I love that. And next up, we've got my beautiful James Dean painting that my one of my first boyfriends, Chris Swaggart, made for me in 1992. And I love this. And I want to be able to look at it and tell the story. Next up, Phil was a great guy, and I love him and miss him, but he was always cool on my birthday. So for 1 year, like 25 years ago, he got me Paul Lynde's autograph. He was the center square on the Hollywood Squares for like 20 years, and he's funny. So we got that hanging up. Next up, again, Phil. All these came from Phil, pretty much. He was at Fanfare, which is a country music festival or whatever, convention. They still have it every year where you can go and you can meet your heroes. And his booth was right next door to DJ Fontana, who was the original drummer for Elvis Presley. He was in the Sun Records Sessions band. It was him, was the drummer, DJ Fontana, and then there was Scotty Moore was the guitarist, and Bill Black was the bass player. And that was Elvis's band for the first 3 or 4 years of his career, his most famous songs. Bill Black died young, but for the '68 comeback special, DJ Fontana and Scotty Moore both played an unplugged session with him. How cool is that? So it says to Brando from DJ Fontana. Elvis's drummer, so we put it right next to the king. And next up, right when Spinmore opened, Chubby Checker played at the front row in Ravenna and came in. And so here's the autographed Chubby Checker, autographed High Spinmore Records. I love you, Chubby Checker, 1984. This hung up on the wall for the entire 30 plus years that Spinmore was open, and Phil gave it to me the day we closed. Next up, I wrote a letter. I would write letters to celebrities when I was a kid. So I loved Jim Carrey. In 1990, I wrote him a letter. I was in 8th grade or something, 9th grade. And he wrote back and says, "Spank you very much." Let's see if we can get it. "Spank you very much, Jim Carrey." I've had that for 30 years. And it was right before he got super duper famous. He was in Once Bitten, and then he had just started being on In Living Color. That's when I wrote to him. Next up, and this is great too, Phil got this from Chuck Berry's manager. It's an autographed picture of Chuck Berry. And it says cheers. Hi, Steve. I don't know why it says hi, Steve, but he got it, you know. He didn't sign anything. So this is great. That's a promo picture of Chuck Berry. And then finally, the coup d'etat. Here is Little Richard. Little Richard's autograph. And it's signed in gold letters. And that hung up, same thing, was hanging up in Spinmore for 30 years. And Phil gave it to me the day we closed. And I love them, but they've been in storage. So now they're here, authentic, cool pictures for people to look at. And I have a story to tell them when they ask about it. You know, I'm proud of these things. And I'm proud of the Frosty, and I love it here. Okay, folks, if you can't tell, I'm overjoyed. So here it is, folks, the Frosty's 50s Diner in beautiful Woodsboro, Texas. If you're ever in town, come in and have a tortilla burger. I love you guys. I'm having the best day ever. Why? Because I love you. That's why. Cheers.